Okay, time to teach you about why Channel Awesome sucks. 10. They're blocking their former employees and anyone who criticized them on Twitter. After YouTuber Shinobi03 made a response video, criticizing the Nostalgia Critics clipless review of Deadpool 2, Channel Awesome downright blocked him on Twitter. 9. After the controversy, the only change Channel Awesome made was moving to a new studio, which doesn't help anything. If anything, that just benefits them rather than doing any good to resolve the controversy. 8. Because of their responses, all the former creators left the company and the site, except Guru Larry and Brad Jones, the latter staying out of spite. 7. Channel Awesome's responses to the drama are unprofessional. Their so-called apology states, "We sincerely regret you felt that." It's your turn to say the rest. Their so-called apology states, "We sincerely regret you felt that way." That is the literal textbook definition of an apology. Their second response is them nitpicking examples from the document and correcting them, basically calling the accusers liars. 6. Speaking of the drama, former employees and producers made a Google Doc pointing out the company's poor practices, hence why the #Chungatha channel movement exists. 5. The Walkers and Michaud knew that the late Justin Carmichael Jawario was a sexual predator, even when they made a tribute to him in 2014 after his death, but they never told anyone, and it wasn't until the Channel Awesome drama that everyone found out. 4. For some reason, Doug Walker sold the rights to the Nostalgia Critic character to Michaud, which is a rather stupid move. 3. Speaking of which, the Nostalgia Critic, Doug Walker, is now reduced to a loud, crude imbecile who treats movies way too seriously, and his reviews are riddled with skits that are mostly filler. He is hypocritical, since he said in his Jurassic World review that the infamous Tyrannosaurus Rex vs. Spinosaurus fight scene in Jurassic Park 3, in which the T-Rex died, was made to sell more toys, when he himself is a big fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a franchise that was, at its core, made to sell toys. And he refers to the Spinosaurus as the Who Caresosaurus, which can trigger a ton of Spinosaurus fans. The critic even contradicted himself by saying in the demo reel finale the review must go on, that he wouldn't review anything currently in theaters, but after this, he would later make a clipless review of Jurassic World on June 24, 2015, when the film was still in theaters at the time. He also did clipless reviews of older movies like Hocus Pocus, 1993, The Phantom of the Opera, 2004, and the infamous The Wall, 1982. Their review was horrible, because it was another clipless review similar to Transformers, Jurassic World, Suicide Squad, and 2017 version of it. Still, it used the music and image clips from the movie with different lyrics as the review, despite the movie itself already being released on DVD. Even Corey Taylor himself told the critic it's a review. That's literally the opposite of what that is. Meaning it completely wasted for 40 minutes with only music and lack of an actual review. Speaking of which, the only thing this video does like a review is just saying "I think the film's fine" at the end, and that's it. No in-depth analysis, no reasoning, just one line about his thoughts on the movie in a 40-minute review. Everyone also commented that it feels more like a parody/satire rather than a review. It failed to talk about the entire movie or even the original album. It instead felt like all Doug did was read the Wikipedia plot for a minute after a troll edited it. Here are several reasons in various music segments based on the original version, not including new songs like Corey. The deeper meaning, uneven SpongeBob SquarePants. In the Floyd, in the Flesh. WIP, when the wall broke free, when the tigers broke free. The first part is slightly understood as the critics said The Wall is first released that it received mixed reviews, decent box office, then it disappeared until it earned a cult following from Pink Floyd fans years later to earn praise reviews from critics. However, the second, he said this one has spoiled child who enters someone's property, but in the movie where Pink as a kid was curious found his deceased father military stuff like hat, scroll, and the bullets as Pink dress up just like his father. The song after this one is really good, Another Brick in the Wall, Part 1/The Happiest Days of Our Lives. WIP, we need more victimization, Another Brick in the Wall, Part 2. This one is considered to be the worst and most infamous song, where the critic against this segment for pandering like hell. Both album and movie has the same runtime as 1 hour and 35 minutes, and mocking at modern United States education like lol so school sucks? Grow a damn pair of balls. But in the album and movie is located in UK, United Kingdom, where Pink as a child has a trouble with his life in school after World War II ended, where all the teachers has become abusive or corrupted, which it explains the headmaster has been pushed around by his wife. So long, weird song. Goodbye Blue Sky. The critics said the monsters are looked too silly and completely nonsensical. However, the album and movie, where the monsters are connected to the horrible feeling or symbolism of World War II, like large threatening mechanical eagle destroying buildings, where it was connected to Rex Adler. With extra salt to the wound, he said the music feels like Oscar bait. The forgotten song, Hey You. WIP, is there anybody who cares? Is there anybody out there? WIP. Comfortably dumb, comfortably numb. WIP. In the Floyd, again? In the flesh? WIP, waiting for the point, waiting for the worms. WIP, bring the runtime down, bring the boys back home. As previously mentioned in 2.4, the album and movie is 1 hour and 35 minutes long, which it was simple runtime on every movies. Then is The Trial. Not considered the worst, but it has notable flaws, was the monster is using for character development, but in the album and movie, where the monsters are connection from Pink's memories like teacher, ex-girlfriend, and mother. Terrible G, saving for Fena and redeeming quality, lighting, green screen and stop motion effects in various segments. One notable example was in the Another Brick in the Wall, Part 2 segment, where the entire students run away or slowly march in a bad-looking green screen that is reused and worse reversed from the giant teacher, played by Rob Scallon, destroying cities. You can easily notice both the city is spinning but not the teacher. The angry video game nerd has better effects for low budget than this. Poorly made and unfunny jokes. Many of the music lyrics are both cringeworthy and an insult to the movie, original album, and even Pink Floyd fans. The music is too loud to the point where you cannot hear what the characters are saying. And they didn't bother to add subtitles. It wastes the talents of Corey Taylor. He only has a few lines and only plays the SpongeBob SquarePants theme at the end. Rob Scallon and Brad Jones. Doug Walker's singing is the worst it has been, since it sounds more hammered up than actually putting in an effort. Even the singing outside of Doug Walker is also flat out terrible. Also, why does this have to do with Pink Floyd adding with a SpongeBob SquarePants theme? As mentioned, this video is almost 40 minutes long, but because of the slow pace, complete with tons of filler, it feels more like 3 hours. World War I has nothing to do with Pink Floyd, either. By the way, in the movie, the main character, aptly named Pink Floyd, has a flashback that reveals his father was killed while defending the Anzio bridgehead during World War II, not World War I. The Battle of Anzio occurred from January 22 to June 5, 1944, 136 days. Besides the title of the video, the thumbnail itself doesn't include Nostalgia Critic himself. Though he only appears as the screaming face on the wall, only a bizarre-looking Photoshop that looks out of place with no context whatsoever. Not to mention, it is shown that in some reviews that he barely knows anything about animals, or even paleontology. In his review of Disney's Tarzan as part of Disneycember, he couldn't tell a cheetah from a leopard when he referred to the leopard antagonist Saber as a cheetah. Here are the differences. Cheetahs have spots on their coats, while leopards have rose-like markings known as rosettes. An adult male cheetah weighs roughly around 54-56 kilograms, while an adult male leopard weighs around 60-70 kilograms. Leopards have retractable claws, while cheetahs have non-retractable claws, and leopards, while shorter at shoulder, are more muscular and stronger than cheetahs. In his Top 11 Nostalgia Critic F-Ups Part 3 video, he regretted doing that mistake, but he said it's a cat, it has spots, even though leopards have rosettes, not spots. Not telling a cheetah from a leopard is the same as not telling an alligator from a crocodile or a caiman from an alligator. In his Jurassic World review, he thinks that the hybrid dinosaur Indominus Rex looks like a giant raptor, but it doesn't. it looks an average theropod / carnosaurid. In fact, it looks more like a T-Rex than a raptor. The real-life Utahraptor was a great example of a giant raptor, and the Indoraptor from the film's sequel was also a giant raptor, because it used a raptor as the main template. He referred to the Indominus Rex with male pronouns despite being female, and referred to the Indoraptor with female pronouns despite it being confirmed to be male in a toy showcase video by Universal and Mattel executives, making him the first confirmed male dinosaur in the Jurassic World trilogy, though there were 3 male T-Rexes in The Lost World, Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 3 respectively. Also, he referred to the Mosasaurus from the movie as a dinosaur, when it wasn't really a dinosaur, it was just an aquatic reptile. Not only did he think the I-Rex looked like a raptor, he also said that it moved like a raptor, but it didn't, and that it sounded like a raptor, but it didn't, and he said that it was 90% raptor, but it was actually a combination of other known dinosaurs, as well as modern animals like pit viper, cuttlefish and tree frog, and also Deinosuchus, a genus species of prehistoric alligator that coexisted with dinosaurs. The Nostalgia Critic has also shown to force memes quite often in his videos, without understanding how they work. Several internet memes are just random things that people pick up to exploit them. In his sibling rivalry review of Logan, Doug said that the taking pills scene would totally be a meme, but later, it wasn't even included in KnowYourMeme.com. One of the most notable forced memes are the frying the Coke meme from his Double Team review and the T-Rex song from his Jurassic Park 3, and Jurassic World reviews. 2. Both the website and the YouTube channel focus too much on the Nostalgia Critic and or anything with Doug Walker, overshadowing the other producers until they left. This shows that the Walkers are now egotistical. For dishonorable mentions, Mad Bad shows such as Demo Reel, and the aforementioned Pop Quiz Hotshot. Many of the crossover movies were also bad. They've recently released a horrid satire album of the Pink Floyd album The Wall, and one of the songs, Corey, is just Doug saying Corey 3 times. This album also contains a parody of the SpongeBob SquarePants theme song. What does SpongeBob SquarePants theme have to do with Pink Floyd? 1. The CEOs, Mike Michaud, and the Walker brothers' way of doing business, which mistreats their producers and even screws over their own viewers. To name a few, an Indiegogo campaign was made to raise money for new shows and received $89,757, which exceeded its goal of $50,000. However, none of the promised shows were made, with the exception of the infamous Pop Quiz Hotshot. Alison Pregler, obscure Sloopit, was fired and removed from the site by Michael and Doug for not chatting with them on her computer. Lindsay Ellis, along with Louis Love Hogg Linkra, was pressured to do a rape scene in the crossover movie, to boldly flee, through intimation. Mike Dodd, the Birdman, was dropped from the site without being told,